Hello, hello everyone. Today we are here with another topic for economic diplomacy. This is the very important topic for section officer, MOFA level, and general शाखा अधिकृत को तेस्रो पत्रको समसामयिक मामिलामा पनि यो रहेको छ भने त्यसै गरी नायब सुब्बाको मोफा लेभलमा पनि छ लेट्स स्टार्ट what is economic diplomacy and how it is reliable in and how it is important for us in Nepal's context. Let's begin our next one. Okay. Okay, we will deal with foundations of economic diplomacy. What are the foundations? Economic instruments and trade relations with other countries and other unions. Strategic economic initiatives, challenges, opportunities, and future outlooks. We will be going to see about these things. Let's go over to our foundation of economic diplomacy. Yep. Understanding economic diplomacy is very important for us. It is economic diplomacy leverages trade relationships and financial instruments to advance national interests and achieve foreign policy objective effectively. The main agenda of economic development, economic diplomacy is developing their own country with the collaboration and with the foreign relations with other countries, other sector, other unions like United Nations organization like SARC and sectorial organizations. Okay. Key components of economic strategy are trade agreement, investment, promotion, currency, diplomacy, and development aid from the essential pillars supporting economic diplomatic efforts. Nepal's unique geopolitical position. Nepal is a yam between two large countries. Like our Prithviraj Shah said, Nepal is a yam between two large countries. दुई ढुङ्गा बिचको तरुल भनेका थिए. Nepal's landlocked locations between India and China provides strategic leverage for economic negotiation and diplomatic engagement opportunities. Nowadays, diplomats uh, say that Nepal is not a yam, but it is a bridge between two giant elephants, two giant countries, two giant economics, two giant developing nations. It should work as a bridge and a transaction hub for the trade and globalization. In the context of globalization, our world is like a village for us. In that scenario, Nepal should be playing a key role to achieve the main objectives of economic diplomacy. Economic diplomacy evolved from traditional approaches into integrated economic political strategy, addressing contemporary global challenges and opportunities. Mm, in Nepal's context, we can see that GDP is not as much as we need, just 61 arb, 61 kharb, 7 arb. Uh, that in the context of GDP, for the increase of increment in GDP and of economic growth and as a holistic approach development economic development, uh, our economy should be um, our economy is like trade, so import oriented. We import rice, we import a lot of the logistic things like um, our essential things are also exported like rice, wheat. Okay. We We export raw materials and import final products. That is our weakness. We have to improve that also. Nepal's main GDP, Nepal's 62% population families are in agriculture, but its GDP contribution is only 25.16%. That is also a very big structural problem for our gross national development. Nepal, India dominates trade at 60%. It means India, if we consider 100% of our trade, then 60% of trade is with India. And in that trade, there is negligible export, only import, followed by China 10% and other 30%. Agriculture, service and industry comprises 25.16%. That should be reviewed. Okay, investment and economic challenges. For foreign direct investment patterns show concentrated sources. Current challenges include persistent inflation. Yep, we have a very our basic needs, things like vegetables, grocery things, have a uh, high inflation rate. So that is causing demoralization in the population, in the peoples, and they are demoralized by the government policies. That is also the main problem I can see there. Okay. Foreign direct investment pattern shows concentrated sources. Current challenges include persistent inflation, structural trade deficit, व्यापार घाटा हामीसँग पर्याप्त छ, and high remittance dependency. You know that our GDP, if we compare GDP and remittance, approximately one-fourth part, sorry, one-third part, yeah, is coming from the, sorry, if one part is remittance and three parts is GDP. That is our scenario, current scenario. That is also a big problem. If our remittance channels are closed, then we are stuck up in the middle of the economic growth. That is also a very important factors I have to explain. And high remittance dependency affecting sustainability. We have not have a economic sustainability. Also, one key factor is that Nepal's currency is fixed with monetary rate, exchange rate with India for 100 rupees equal to 160 Nepali rupees. That also affects directly if India's currency is valuing devaluating, then Nepal's currency is also devaluating. In the news, I have listened that. Nepal's currency is one USD equal to 150 Nepali rupees. That is also a big issue for inflation. Political foundations. You know, Nepal's geopolitical landscape is a very important factor. Although we are never colonized by any country like Britain colonized our our neighbor India. Okay, but we are not colonized for a little time, so that is also a lucky chance that we are sovereign from the backward history. Nepal maintains stable democracy with multi-party coalition government, ensuring institutional continuity and democratic participation across regions. Social dynamics, cross-border cultural ties, strengthens communities, migration patterns create opportunities alongside social stability concerns, requiring balanced policies. Economic integration. In 2025, we are the part of the BIMSTEC from 2004. In the BIMSTEC, we are. growing regional integration through BIMSTEC membership while managing bilateral trade disparities with neighbor countries effectively. 2027. Technological development. We are uh, in the starting of 2026 and we have to be digitally connectivity gaps. We have to fulfill the digital connectivity gaps persist. Infrastructure development remains critical for bridging regional disparities and enabling economic growth opportunities. Nepal's diplomatic strategy. If we analyze our strengths, Nepal possesses significant competitive advantage in economic diplomacy. Strategic location bridging South Asia and East Asia enables trade facilitation, rich cultural heritage, and tourism potential generate sustainable, substantial foreign exchange. Um, Rich cultural heritage. Natural uh, positioning allows Nepal to maintain balanced relationships with major regional powers without alignment pressures. Growth opportunities. Emerging opportunities can strengthen Nepal's economic diplomacy position. Regional connectivity projects through Belt and Road initiation. We have agreed the Belt and Road initiation and MCC and we have one cross-border issue also, Olympia Duralipulek, which has now working as a trade way for India and China. That is also our geopolitical weakness. We are not standing for the Limpia Republic and Kalapani. That is also our biggest issue. Um, Regional connectivity projects through Belt and Road initiatives and South Asia frameworks enhance trade corridors. Renewable energy exports capitalize on hydropower potential for regional markets. Trade diversification into high value sectors reduces economic vulnerability and expands diplomatic partnership. Trade diversification into high value sectors reduces economic diplomacy and expand diplomatic partnership. Economic weakness. Nepal faces substantial economic constraints, limiting diplomatic leverage. Economic vulnerability stems from narrow export base and remittance dependency. Infrastructure deficits hinder cross-border connectivity and trade efficiency. Limited manufacturing capacity restricts value-added production and industrial competitiveness in regional markets. Nepal confronts significant external challenges, threatening diplomatic stability. Dependency on major powers. China and India limits strategic autonomy in political policy decisions. Climate change impacts directly threaten agriculture dependent economy and energy security. Geopolitical pressures from competing regional interests constrain independent economic policy formulation. Now we will go to our second section, instruments and trade relations. Okay, bilateral trade relations. India relation trade volume reaches 18 billion annually. Key dependency risks include import concentration. Yep. We have a very less import and market vulnerability. Ongoing tariff negotiations focuses on reducing trade barriers and improving market access for Nepali exports. China relations. Connectivity projects enhance infrastructure and regional integration. Foreign direct investment shows a consistent growth trajectory. Debt consideration so require careful management and sustainable financing arrangements. Historical patterns. Traditional trade routes established strong India Nepal economic ties, geographical proximity influenced historical commerce patterns, colonial legacies shaped current bilateral frameworks and institutional structures. And strategic advantage. Geographical location provides strategic positioning between major economics. Diversification opportunity reduce economic vulnerability, future trajectories, emphasize balanced engagement, and leveraging competitive advantage in regional connectivity. Regional framework, we are the part of SARC, but which is totally dead from 2018. It's 18th SARC Shikhar Sammelan. After it, due to the Pakistan India conflicts, it is on a hold. And BIMSTEC is now a growing opportunity for Nepal to develop its agendas and to have a economic diplomacy with the countries. As BIMSTEC is a bridge between SARC and ASEAN, and SAPTA integration steps strengthens Nepal's regional economic cooperation and market access opportunities. Bilateral agreements. Nepal India treatments and Nepal China MOUs establish foundational trade partnerships defining commerce terms and investment protections. Negotiation processes, tariff harmonizations, and investment protection protocols ensure fair trade practices, reducing barriers and securing stakeholders' interests. Implementation and tracking. Challenges in execution require a robust outcome monitoring system to ensure agreement compliance and measure economic benefits effectively. Okay, now investment and economic corridors. China Belt and Road Initiative is a one, and India regional connectivity. We are connected with India's five states: Bihar, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. You know, so we have connectivity. Infrastructure development is a very important issue for Nepal. Foreign direct investment trends. We have to welcome foreign direct investment in Nepal. Export-oriented strategy, agriculture and organic products. We, if we have maintained the ability to get a final product, then we should avoid exporting um, raw materials like the hops, okay, like the grains. So we are exporting hops, grains in a raw material, and we are again getting the importing the final product like medicines. Right? Okay, that is our key factors we have to know. So agriculture and organic products should be enhanced to be uh, competitive advantage in global market because it is a era of globalization and liberalization. And one of the things that, for example, Nepal is now eager independent for egg market. So Nepal is not importing any eggs from other countries like India, Japan, so India and China. That is because we have made the mentality. We have made the agricultural products branded. That is our key issue. Tourism and hospitality sector. Yes, this is the key. Our key sector which will develop our nation. It is a uh, relatively relatively profitable sector for us, Nepal. Mountain tourism and trekking, okay, trekking routes, the Great Himalayan Trek, the Annapurna Trek, the Machapochi Trek, okay, these are the Opi Trek, the and cultural heritages, adventure activities, different significant foreign exchange earnings growth are the key factors. And hydropower energy export. Abundant water resources enable surplus hydropower generations for regional energy and market expansion opportunities. And handicrafts and traditional products are also our things. And the third one is economic initiatives we have to take. We have to develop hydropowers. We have to increase the current capacity. We have to plan the project expansion. We have to make a growth trajectory. Regional connectivity projects are strategic economic initiatives. We have to use it as a strategic economic initiatives. Community impact. We have to locally develop our agendas, our growth. We have local government, we have local self-assisted government, and country infrastructures are the key structures. We have to connectivity. We have to emphasize on connectivity like Madhya Pahari Lok Rajmarg, Ulaki Rajmarg. These are the major connectivity infrastructures. And okay, in regional integration, mega level integration. Paste. For today, we are only doing that. We will meet for tomorrow. I- Okay. But I'm not going to share this here.